inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumedh Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Today we're talking about the humble brag. Okay, the humble brag. The art of the humble brag. How can you humble brag? How can you brag without bragging? How can you share your goodies without actually getting that commission breath and being salesy and being... To my hat, mate. What? You're just going to take my hat away? What the bloody hell? What is this art form? How do you brag without actually bragging, okay? Let me tell you this. This is so evident in dating, in relationships, in businesses, in just generating wealth and income. It's useful in your health endeavors and if you're trying to work out. It's useful in everything, in every state of beingness, because the humble brag is really an art form. Okay, it's very difficult for people to do, especially if they have a very, very well-formulated ego, right? Like if you have a very, very strong personality and you're very older, you're very stubborn, right? You're very stuck in your ways and in your beliefs, it's difficult to manage the humble brag. You know, I came across this term. I'm doing a men's work in business course right now. I'm on week 2, and it's called Intentional Impact. And basically, you know, Jose, the guy who runs it, was talking about this idea of being hollow-boned. You're basically the vessel for the universal spirit to come through you. And the bone is just, I think it's from a specific part of the body of the bird, right? But yeah, it's for a Native American ritual, I believe, or a ceremony. And it's a very interesting term, right? To be hollow-boned. Because you're not really attached to your identity anymore. You're in this selflessness state of you just being the vessel and then God working through you, which is what Godfidence really is, right? So to be able to humble brag, you're going to have to get rid of that feeling like, oh, I need to be validated, I need to gain attention from people, I need to be well liked. You get rid of all of that and you just focus on being of service. Okay, being a catalyst and sharing value with people. That's the humble brag art form. So let's say that you're a fitness instructor as an example, okay? Are you going to be flexing your muscles and doing everything that, you know, other fitness instructors are doing? No. What you're going to be doing is, you're going to be doing some other activity, but your body can still be seen, okay? Let's say you're going to the tool shed and you're getting something and you're making some woodwork, but you're shirtless. That's the humble brag, bro. That's the humble brag. You're doing something else, but subconsciously it's hitting people that way. This guy actually has a pretty decent body, man. You know what I mean? And that's really powerful because it's an indirect form of gain. Right? You're not going up and saying, hey, I really like you. This is what it is, blah, blah, blah. It's like, hey, do you know where the subway is? Oh, by the way, I really like your hat. You know, whatever. So, that's the art form. It's an indirect, not in a sneaky way, indirect. It's indirect in the sense of you're not attached to the outcome, you know? You're just like, hey, I'm here to do what I'm here to do, and this is what I am, and this is what I'm about. There's no need to brag about it. It's just this humility of just knowing who you are and understanding that everybody else is human too, so making the process easier and just cutting through all the BS and getting to that level of transparency where you're just like, hey, I'm going to show up like this, you know, I'm going to do this way. So how do you optimize this, right, for your specific niche? Let's say that you're a painter. How do you tell people my paintings are dope without actually putting it in their faces? Like, hey, check out my paintings. Hey, guys, please buy my paintings. They're only $99.99. Come on, guys. Please buy my paintings. It's like, okay, after a certain point, you're going to be like, yeah, I'm not interested, you know? Like, chill, bro. Like, you seem like you're in scarcity. Why are you trying to sell to me, like, in my face so much? You know what I mean? So, to avoid going with that, you basically want to make your, like, paintings as a part of something greater, you know, like an element of something greater. Like you take a picture with your painting in the background and have like a caption completely not about the painting at all, right? It's like something irrelevant to the painting, or it shows that you're painting it, right? But the caption itself has something to do with the process of you painting it, or something like that. You're showing a behind the scenes, right, of like something you were thinking about as you're painting it. It's not that you're selling your painting, right? But you are giving people a piece of your soul right now. It's like, whoa, this guy, this gal is sharing something that is much deeper than just a painting. They're sharing their process. Now that's sacred. Okay, that's really sacred. Art of the humble brag is knowing how to be assertive, which means not too mean, not too kind. Okay? You're not being overly people-pleasing and kind, and you're not being so in your face and rude either. But it's this perfect balance of you're serious and playful at the same time, and you're keeping to your edges, and you're finding that sweet spot between bragging and not bragging. Right? Because we still need to demonstrate our success, but we can't do it in an in-your-face way, right? So what's a way you can demonstrate that, hey, you want to show people that you have a lifestyle, you have a car, but if you're just posing by the car like this, like every other person, like every bro, right? It's like, okay, yeah, we get it. You have a car. That's great. Every other Lambo influencer who's rented a Lambo, it doesn't make a difference. That's not a great brag. Like, that's a brag, but that's not a humble brag. How do we bring humility into that? You talk about a story of how you got to where you are as you're driving the car. Okay? Or someone shows you talking from inside of your car in the video, and you still see the car, it looks cool, but then you see the man inside the car, or the woman inside the car, right? And it's like, whoa, this is awesome. They're sharing their own process. We can see subconsciously that they're showing an indicator of success with the car. However, it's not so much about making it about the car. The car is just an accessory, right? It's a prop to activate the subconscious mind of the people watching, right? So that's the art of the humble brag. Be able to be a little bit of like having night vision, right? Think of this idea of having night vision, right? You're able to see things, and you're able to see through the nonsense of society. Okay? So everybody else is doing things this very specific way. There's a way to do it. Let me fit in the mold. Let me do everything like every other influencer does online, and maybe, hopefully, I'll fit in. No, that's not how you humble brag, okay? How you humble brag is you are able to do this thing that Bruce Lee says, acting, non-acting, or natural unnaturalness, right? So this ability to weave in and out of this amazing character that you're creating for yourself, and your intention is not to brag, but it's the art of flexing without flexing, right? So what do most people flex about? Look at my cars, look at my women, look at my jewels, okay? Now, that does work in a certain extent. It's like, yeah, okay, great, all these rappers are doing this, all these influencers are doing this, showing the materialism. But how about flexing your values? How about flexing your philosophy and your principles and your lifestyle? Okay? Like, for instance, I'm not wearing them right now, but I usually wear beads, right? Monk beads. Japa beads. And that shows that I am a spiritual being having a human existence. And it shows my philosophy and the way of life, right? Someone came to me the other day and they were like, hey, you know why I chose you as a counselor and as a consultant? It's because I saw you wearing those beads, and I'm a very, spiritual person myself. I believe in Shiva. And she told me this specifically, and that was very shocking to me. But at the same time, I kind of expected it. You know what I mean? Like, once you're at this level of awareness, you expect these things to happen. Because you know that you're going to align certain people who believe in your values, who believe in your etiquette, who believe in your way of beingness, right? So let's say that your value is loyalty. How are you going to demonstrate loyalty through your brand without bragging about it? Like, we're a loyal company. Our employees trust everybody. Like, how do you actually demonstrate that? right? Maybe you might have an interview with one of your employees talking about the values of loyalty and why it's important to them. Ooh, that's perfect, right? That's just ideal, because nobody does that. You know what I mean? Like, nobody shows people like what this company is about, what this mission statement is, what the greatness of actually being a part of this movement is. You know? It's like, sure, people give you a list of benefits and this thing will help you and it's kind of cool, you better try it out. Hey, try out this product, it's gonna be cool. You want to embody the product because they're buying you, not the product. At the same time, you want to emphasize certain qualities that make your brand very specific and very unique. Okay? This is how you're going to get those long-lasting, recurring people coming back to you, right? Because you stand for something greater than a moisturizer or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like if you're selling a moisturizer and you're trying to brag like, hey, this moisturizer cleanly skin, you know? What do ads show you? They don't tell you to use the moisturizer. They show you a person with a flawless face, right? With a very clear face. And this person with a very clear face is talking to you. And sometimes ads will do this on you. You're like, what the heck is this ad about? And at the end, it's like a moisturizer or like a dandruff cream or something like that. And you're like, whoa, okay, that's what it was about. But the ad had nothing to do with it. So that's the way not to do it, right? Unless you want to disrupt and be random. That is a technique sometimes, but you got to know how to disrupt. How do you disrupt the norm? How do you do it in a way that is artistic and just going to evaluate yourself as a creator and help others, right? So when you're coming from service at the end of the day and you know that the destination is, this is a never-ending destination that's constantly giving, you become the embodiment of what you're trying to get out there, okay? So if you are, let's say you're in the business of clothing design, right? Now, instead of doing the thing where you're like, hey, we have 20% off on this line of clothing, try this out. Try something different, okay? Try wearing the clothes in your videos as you're talking about it and tell them a story about it. Ooh, talk about bragging without bragging. Oh my goodness. You're telling a story about how your brand formulated and you're tying in some analogy in there as you're wearing the brand on your chest. You know, like I'm wearing this brand, right? This is Joe Rogan stuff, you know what I mean? And me wearing this cowboy hat and like speaking about it, am I unconsciously getting you guys to listen to Joe Rogan podcast? I don't know. You know, I'm not sponsored by them, but hey, Joe, if you're listening to this, you know, sponsor me, bro. What's up? Okay? It's like this ability to skirt on the edges of your craft, not seeing whether people are a good fit for you or not, and you're basically, you're engaging yourself holistically with your brand, not just little elements of your brand. Okay, here's a little aspect of my brand, let me give you this tiny piece of it, and let me never talk about it again. No. Okay? Chunk it up. You can take one topic and create a million pieces of content. This is where you have to come from nowadays, okay, guys? Content isn't king, but context is king. Okay, so understanding that what is the content in the larger context of what you do. Let's say you're a coach, okay, where is this piece of content engaging with the larger whole? You get what I'm saying? Where is the larger picture, the bigger picture in terms of what you're doing with this coaching thing? So I gotta get going, guys. I hope you have an incredible day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary.